All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast about nothing. We're your host. I'm the plus size assassin.
I'm Pingo.
And today we got a really special guest. So it's the first time we're recording this shit. So we got Mr. LA Empire himself, Freddy.
Yeah, what's up,
on
man?
the show.
Yeah. Freddy from the LA Empire.
Why you talking like you're nervous, bro? Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Just,
He did the
Never
sound
did it.
check all loud, and then now he all quiet.
Now he wants to get quiet. Come on, man. All right. So when we first started this whole best thing and the whole podcast idea, you were one of the first people that I came to with it. Like, as soon as I moved back, I remember I went to go pick up some stuff from you, and I pitched it to you. And from the beginning, you were one of the people that I really wanted to have on here just because of the LA Empire. And we'll get into what that is and what you're all about. But this is like a really big episode just because you were one of the first people that had popped into my head to jumpstart all of this.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. That was a cool idea. You know, what you're trying to do. It's pretty cool. So I'm all on board for this, even though it took a while.
Yeah, it definitely took longer than we wanted it to, but
yeah, for sure. I'm here.
It doesn't matter.
Well, you guys are here.
Yeah. So we are in Empire headquarters out here.
Yeah. You're in one of the dungeons.
Yeah. So let's take it back to the beginning, how we met. So we've mentioned before, I worked Parks and Rec, and that's when I first knew of you, because you had a softball team.
For sure.
And then we started playing with one of our boys, so we all kind of just got mixed into the softball community, and then we started playing on your team.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's how we actually met. And then
yeah, I didn't have a brand at that time. It was just plain. Yeah.
It was just playing
League
softball.
nights.
Yeah, league nights at Salt Lake, man.
Park, yep.
Back to the park. But that's the original story of how we actually came to be friends. Yeah. And then one league night, you approached us and you said, I'm starting this brand. I want to start making T-shirts and hats. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
And you popped out with a bag of hats.
You know what? I'm gonna interrupt you right there. It actually wasn't a league night. That was I don't know if it was a tournament. I'm not sure what it was, but it was at Southgate Park.
No, that's the first time we sold a hat.
Yeah.
But the first time you brought it out was league night, because I remember you had a bag of hats.
Okay, yeah.
Edgar bought one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Edgar bought a hat.
It was the first time you actually showed us.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't really selling. I just took it out like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
That was at league night. Yeah.
So we'll get to Southgate Park, but let's just get right into it. The LA Empire. So for those of you guys that don't know, please let us know, what is the LA Empire? What are we dealing with here?
So the LA Empire is basically a clothing brand. I'm basically a graphic designer. It's just a brand based off of a lot of baseball, softball community, and I've turned that into more of a kind of like a urban kind of lifestyle type of thing. More basically where I came from, you know what I mean? I was a graffiti artist, and I've always been very creative my whole life, and I'm a poet. I'm so many things, man. I'm so much in the art world, and I took advantage when I went into playing softball, slow pitch. I seen, no offense to anybody, but I didn't really like anything that people were wearing. They had like all the drunk designs. There was a lot of kind of funky, dumb kind of designs. So when I came in, I was like, dude, I could do a lot with this. I could do some really dope stuff to introduce these people. You know what I mean? So that's basically where the idea came from.
So obviously the idea came from just seeing all these bad designs, which I agree. A lot of them were really basic and
fucking corny.
Yeah, it's really corny ideas. So what's the whole story behind it? Like,
all right.
Hit us with a little bit, like
some little deep stuff.
Yeah.
We'll go
Let's
from
get
the beginning.
Lesson, I think a lot of people that follow you also don't know.
Nah, definitely
because you're very private. You don't get in front of the camera much.
Yeah,
So this is the first intro to them to really know what they're supporting too. So
yeah, for sure.
Hit them with it.
It's actually this was it was part of a team we joined. I knew I wanted to do a design for something, so me and one of my cousins kind of got together at his house, and we talked about trying to come up with something, an idea. It had nothing to do with a brand. It had nothing to do with any of that. It was just to do a dope logo for this team, for the team. It had nothing to do with, a clothing brand or anything. It had to do more with just making something for the team that looked tight and looked dope. We got together at his house, chopped it up. He came up with cool ideas. And he and I basically came up with, the whole thing. Took us a couple hours. We literally came up with the concept. He was trying to tell me like, hey man, let's do this thing where like, let's make it into like some bats inside of a home plate or anything. He started like, sketching ideas. I started looking into it, and he kind of told me like, we saw this idea, and it was kind of like, we had put 3 bats in there, and it looked like an E. We're like, dude, this looks like an E. You know what I mean? So we literally, it was funny. We had like a list of letters like that, like words that begin with the letter E. So Empire was never in the picture. And this is my story. I don't know what reason that he came along to choose Empire, but true story. I don't think it's I used to watch that show Empire. I think it's still on right now.
Boardwalk Empire?
No. It's that
the
rap.
music one.
Yeah,
The music
it's like
one.
a
Okay,
rap
okay,
show
okay.
or whatever, So I was watching that at the time, and I'm like, hey, dude, Empire, like, and he was like, yeah, that fits pretty. We had thought about everything with E. We're like, let's just choose Empire. And then once it came to like trademarking and all that stuff, I knew Empire wouldn't hold up. It's just such a general, word. So that's when, me being Mr. Graffiti artist, Mr. repping LA all day, I put it all together and made the LA Empire, try to represent where I come from and my roots and, basically my county and, where I grew up, and put it all together.
That's dope.
It's dope. So I mean, that was the backstory on the
Yeah.
on the brand. So like a little bit of backstory on you. Like, how'd you get into the whole graphic designing and all that?
Basically, like I've been graffiti artist. That's basically my heart. Hip hop, rap, underground music. I've done beats. I do so much stuff, man. I like filming. So I've always been an artist, you know what I mean? I never really specified myself in a category. I always just like doing everything, For a while, I was just doing a lot of music, and even then, I don't want to do like my covers for the, for the little track that came out. I want to do my own editing in my videos. So I've always been very like artistic. It's funny, before this brand, this is a cool little note, whatever, little backstory. I actually had 2 other brands that went to completely shit and never worked out,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I had like this hip hop brand, and I had another brand too, and maybe sold like 2-3 shirts to a couple friends that were supporting, but they went down the hill real quick. And it sucked because I'm like, damn, I have some dope ass designs. Like, this is some cool stuff, but it's very hard. I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. I assume some people may think it's easy, but it's not easy, and this is like very easy to fail on. You know what I mean? You could fail real easily, and I've gone through it, and this was not my first brand, so it wasn't like I was new to this. I had a lot of support from my mom. She had bought me a silk screen machine, a 4-color screen print machine. So I was, doing screen print designs and little side jobs already. So I was already kind of into it type of thing. I had the material to do everything. So I just found the opportunity where I could do something. Like, I found the crowd that I thought maybe they can use some cool stuff, and that's what I think was big here. Is having a fan base, to say, having a group that would support you, that don't really have that kind of style within that, it's like hip hop, for example, which was one of my stuff that I chose as a brand. There's so many hip hop brands, there's so much clothing out there for them.
Yeah, all the streetwear.
It's hard to try to do anything with it, you know what I mean? But when it came to softball, I found the group where it's like, dude, like, these people will rock some dope stuff if I make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to rock those stuff, So
Yeah, you found a market you can get into. And
exactly. And that's literally what happened. Literally once. So, me and my cousin did the whole design. We did all that stuff. We went to Lids, to the mall, to make a hat, which I have the original hat somewhere. It looks like shit, by the way. So we went to Lids, and we told them, like, hey, man, we have this sketch. I had it on a PDF already. I already had the design. We liked it. Can you guys embroider on a hat? They do custom embroideries. We got it. We were all excited. We got one for me, one for him. We were the only ones rocking that shit. And they came out ugly, but we thought it was dope, It even had like a little cursive, the LA Empire. That's the original.
Yeah.
The
original logo.
It had the little cursive in there saying the LA Empire. And we rocked that stuff, We're rocking it. And that's when it hit us. I went to park and I was playing, and somebody's like, hey, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's our team logo. We're called Empire. That's what the team name was called. And they're like, oh, if you make that into another hat, I'll buy it from you. And I'm like, really? You'll buy this? And he's like, yeah, I'll buy it, dude. Let me know. And then I was like, whoa, shoot. And that's when I got like, damn, people will buy this. All right, let's, you know, let's talk it up now. Let's see what this comes out to.
See where it can go.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you first started that, like, the hat, when you had that guy approach you and he's like, I'll buy this, did you think, damn, this might be a good little side hustle? Or was it, obviously we know you've always been creative and wanted to do something like that, but did you think, I finally found my market where I can make this, you know, my career? Or was it just like the side hustle, like, maybe I can make a couple bucks off of some t-shirts?
Yeah, far from a career or anything like that. It was definitely a side hustle. My mom, a single mom, grew up with, you know, 4 kids, and my little brother sold tortas and stuff like that in high school. We always sold stuff. We squished cans, and, you know, we're always about side hustles. So that's something that's in me to hustle. You know, anything I could find.
Entrepreneurial mentality.
Yeah, anything I can find that I can make side money, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? So that was definitely I was working already. I don't know where I was working at that time. I had like 20 jobs, dude. Once I turned 18, my mom's like, you have to pay rent, dude. So I've been working.
Yeah.
I was a gardener. I've worked at the 99-cent store, Domino's. Like, Domino's is a cool job, by the way. I love pizza, so that was like one of my favorite jobs. But, you know, I worked everywhere, so it never was like, hey, this is going to be my career. It was more like, this is
another way I can make some more money
to make some extra cash for whatever. You know, when I was in high school, I used to throw hip-hop shows at a bar. At a bar, dude. And I used to be the one hosting the events, and I used to cash in, pay the bar. The guy used to be at the front charging, pay the DJ. That's all I had to pay, and I kept the rest of the money, and the guy kept his bar money. I just had to pay the DJ, and then the rappers, I paid them like off people that came in. So everybody who said their name, they would get like $5 a head. Okay. You know what I mean? I charge $15 a head, so they get 5 for them, and I get my $10. Yeah, so I've always been hustling, bro.
Yeah. So from when that first started to now, obviously we're in here. We just said we're in, you know, headquarters for LA Empire and stuff. So how's that outlook changed now? Like from when that first hat sold said, oh, hell yeah, this is, you know, a quick little side hustle I got, to now that it's giving you so much.
And when also, like, to add on to that question, when did you like realize that? Like, was there like a moment where, like, I don't know, I sold 100 hats now, or was it like just
this isn't just a side hustle no more?
Yeah, man, it took a lot, to be honest. It took a lot of work, a lot of failures. Even to this day, I'm like, damn, dude, like I'm like, this is all I do for work. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this shit. Like,
I mean, coming from a place where, you know, you've had to work every single day doing, you know, laborers.
Yeah, dude,
jobs,
like factories and all
yeah.
that shit. So I'm like, damn, I'm right here, dude. Like,
Some
you know,
change of pace.
yeah. I guess it was probably like, I want to say like 4 years now. You know, we started in 2016. So I've always been like working my job and, you know, trying to get this brand up, and yeah, maybe like 4 years that this is all I do completely. I don't have no other jobs, nothing. I just, you know, work for myself. And I think, to go back to your question, I think I realized it. I realized that maybe there's something I could do. I'm gonna go a little bit back a little bit. There's so many stories in here, man. It's hard to get them all. You know,
it's been a long journey with
yeah,
them,
it really has. My brother gave me the opportunity. He owns a collision center, and he gave me the opportunity to work with him, and I did a lot of like computer stuff with him. I helped him doing it, and you know, it's a blessing, man. I've been very blessed in life. You know, even when I worked there, I didn't know nothing about it. He taught me, you know, about cars and stuff like that, and even then, he knew, you know, who I was and everything. So he would like let me do designs, you know, for the shop. Let me do little video promos with the cars and stuff like that. So he always let me be me, you know. And I never been a car person, man. I've always been an artist, so I had to adjust to that lifestyle. And then after 3 years working with him, I started seeing like I was getting very busy with work. So it was kind of frustrating where I would feel like, damn, man, I need to go home. I got these orders. People are hitting me up. I got to go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it became like a drag for like about a whole year where it was like, dude, like this is a mission. Like I'm, you know, I'm getting a lot of work right now. Like, you know, so that's the moment that I decided that I realized, I guess, that maybe this is something that I can do without anything else, you know what I mean? And me, I've always been like, to this day, I'm still very like, I get easily financially stressed, and it has nothing to do with like being low. It's just me thinking of the future. Like my mind's always like 3 years ahead of myself, you know what I mean? Like my mind's like thinking of a million things at once. So that's huge for me, like to think that I don't have like set income coming. You know what I mean? That was like the big dilemma, you know. I had a lot of support from my partner at the time. Well, not at the time, she's still my partner, but during that time, my partner, you know, told me like, "Hey, man, just go for it. You know, like you got this. Like you could do this. If there's any issues, like you know, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, go back and get a job. You know, but you're never gonna know until you know you get this.
Jump in there.
Yeah, so that's when I was like, you know, having that support. I went for it, man, and I haven't looked back since. It's been a lot of stressful situations, you know what I mean, but overall, like, it's been really cool, man. It's been really cool just doing this. I still like surprised sometimes, bro. I get excited when people be like, "Oh, I love that you did this. Like, you're amazing." Dude. I'm like, me? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm just, you know what I mean?
I'm never just out here playing around a little bit.
Man. You know, I'm just doing my style, my stuff to everything I touch, you know what I mean? And it's cool to get so many compliments and, you know, get so many people supporting me and, you know, continuing supporting me. Like, I have, like, my day ones, you know. I have my originals, you know, including you guys, including my boy right here. You know what I mean? I want to go back to that Southgate store real quick just because I'm on the topic already. But you know what I mean? I never believed in myself. You know, when I started even trying to thinking of selling, I had...
we had our boy right here, Pingle.
Yeah.
First outside sale of the LA Empire.
It is what it is, bro. I don't take credit for things I didn't, you know, do or anything like that. I'm not gonna stand here and just be like, hey, I did this all by myself. Like, a lot of things went on where now it's just me, you know. But there was a lot of people that helped me out, including my cousin, including a good friend of ours, who helped me to this place, you know. And being over here was my first salesman, man. You know, right. The first ever sold item was from this man right here.
Yep.
And you know, you can't forget that. It was, you want to see the story? Or you want to?
I mean, I'll say what I remember. It was, I mean, like you said, it was your first year. So 2016, we were at a tournament at Southgate Park.
Yeah.
And I remember there was another company set up right there with all their gear. And it was the first day you were selling it and you were nervous. You didn't want to go up to anybody. You didn't want to ask. And I was just like, dude, the stuff is dope. Like, just go do it. Somebody will buy it. And you didn't want to. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. Yeah. And I grabbed it. I grabbed I think it was like a roll of hats.
Yeah, it was a little plastic bag. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, look, man, if you sell one hat, I'll give you one hat for free, bro. Whatever hat you want, you can pick it. And you got all excited. You're like, all right, cool.
I wanted a hat. Yeah, so I just walked around.
He still has it, by the way.
He still has it. So I just walked around and I came back and I think I sold like a good amount, like 5-6 hats.
I think you came back with just your hat and like another 2 hats with you.
And you were just like super surprised. And
I was like, dude, you sold everything. He's like, yeah, I mean, this is all I have left. And the one that I picked is mine. And you had another one in your hand. Like, this is mine. Like, that's when I was like, damn, dude. Like, and I remember that same day someone came up to me from wherever you sold and they were asking me for different colors. Like, hey, you have any different colors? I'm like, I will in the future. I mean, I was like completely clueless there. I didn't know that it was gonna, you know, like I said, I've always been very like, I guess, humble to the arts and my designs. I never, you know, think too much of myself or anything like that. So, you know, that was a big shock for me, for people to actually buy something that I created. It was a pretty cool experience.
And obviously we've been there since the first, you know, hats came out and stuff to now. And that's something that I've always thought was like super dope about you. From that day to now, nothing has changed as far as your humility towards everybody. Like, you still sometimes are surprised when people hit you up and like, yo, let me get that shirt because that's a dope design. You know, that's something that I still see in you, that you're still like shocked. Yeah. Like, people actually want my stuff. And I think that's one of the dopest things that I've always, you know, loved about you as a person.
I appreciate that. And and it's still like that, man. I don't think I'm better than anybody. You know, I'm aware that there's people out there that for whatever reason dislike me or whatever, but hey man, I'll fix it with them, whoever it is, man. You know, I'm always down to work it out, man. It's all peace, love. I'm there to support people, you know what I mean. I'm never thinking I'm better than anybody, you know what I mean.
So we got into that little story with Bingo and how that came out. So, you know, besides the obvious, you know, growth in sales, because obviously it's just gone crazy from that first tournament,
it's a blessing, right?
So how's the process changed now from being, you know, asking so many other people for help, like, to now where you have people coming to you and like, Can you design this for me? Can you get me some jerseys, some hats? Like, how is just the process of running the empire changed?
It's crazy, man. It's like a whole 360. It's a whole new world, man. Even when we're at, man, like, I know the cameras can't see, but we're like in the dungeon, man. Like, this place here was like, it's like a dream for me, you know what I mean? I never thought I had like a whole workspace where I could just sit here and like, you know, I've always been working, you know, I never even had a room, bro. Like, my room was always like my bed, and then I had a bunch of like boxes here, you know, shirts stacked up there, hats there. Like, I you know, I never had like just a regular room, you know. My room was always like half my room and half Empire's room, you know what I mean? Like, it's always been a mess.
I remember those bins.
Yeah, just bins stacked with clothes and shit, you know. Just, so that's been like a major change just right here where we're at. You know, this is basically like my own space where I get to design and no one bothers me, you know what I mean? It's my own space. It's been a lot more work, man. It's I am getting a little bit ahead of myself, but things have been going so great that we're planning to get our first employees next year, hopefully, if all goes well, God willing. You know what I mean? It's getting that good in life right now where it's, you know, it's time for me to start giving back and getting some, you know, get a bigger team. I've always had my supporters, you know, including you, Brian. You know, you were like one of the first people to set up for me. I gave you a little bit of cash, you know what I mean?
That was the OG employee. I was about to say that, you know. Y'all are secondhand employees.
You know what I mean?
It was the OG setting up at the park.
Yeah, I had my original crowd, you know what I mean? When things were getting a little good, I had a couple people that, including you, a couple people that would, you know, pay a little money, you know, and you guys set up, and, you know, so it's been a long way from that, you know what I mean? Like, now we're talking about going from hats to t-shirts. That's all I sold for maybe like the first 2 years maybe.
Yep.
And now we're talking about batting gloves, all sorts of t-shirts and tank tops, and now jerseys and backpacks, and we're working on sweats, hoodies, tights, like anything you can think of, basically. Custom gym bags. Like, you know,
blankets,
blankets, dude. Like, we have a couple big projects we're working on right now that I can't really talk about, but there's so much that we're still working on, you know what I mean? Like, this is on another level now. Like, we're not just t-shirts and hats now, and it's crazy to think that that's where everything came from, you know what I mean? That's all we did.
Yeah, I still remember.
So would you, like, to the point where you're at now, would you call it successful? Like, have you reached success in your, because I think, like, Empire's it's a success now, but like for you personally, have you reached that level where you could say, you know what, my brand is successful? Like, it reached not to where you want it to end, but to.
Nah. To me, what I see success is when I financially have enough money to do my big plan. My big plan is to have youth programs to be able to help kids, and it's not just baseball. Obviously, though, we're gonna amplify that more and, you know, get softball and working with the kids, but it's more about just giving back to kids, you know, doing raffles, giving them free stuff for schools and stuff. When I'm at that point in my life, that's when I feel like I made it. You know what I mean? That's my goal. Success, that's my goal in life. I feel like all of us here should be having goals that are bigger than ourselves. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, if I could help somebody out, that's where I want to be in life. You know what I mean? Like, if I could help kids out, that's kids. And, you know, I actually worked like another 3 years too at a after school program with kids. And, man, I'm telling you, I had so many jobs. I work with kids too, man. I love working with kids. So that's definitely where my goal is, where I'll say, like, I made it. You know, this is what I wanted. You know what I mean? Where I could have these monthly programs where I do host these events and give back to kids. You know what I mean? That's the big plan, and that's where I feel like if I ever get there, and that's the plan to get there, that's when I'll feel accomplished. And I do a lot, and you know, I'm not even gonna talk about it because I don't really like doing that, but I already do a lot to that I feel comfortable in life, that I say, like, I do whatever I can to help whoever I choose to help. You know what I mean? I do as much as I can. Sure. But there's so much more I want to do, you know what I mean? So that's when I think I'll feel successful. It has nothing to do with, you know, having this big old, like, setup, having a warehouse, and none of that will matter at the end of the day if I can't help people that really need the help.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's one of the things that I, like, why you were one of the people that I, like, reached out to when I was doing all of this. Just because I've always felt like you and I have very similar mentalities as far as all this stuff. Like, success is just, personal success doesn't mean as much to us as, like, having success for others.
Correct.
Where we're actually impacting other people instead of just our own lives.
Yeah.
You know? But with that being said, I want you to brag a little bit. All right, give me like just one moment where you're just like, we did this, like as far as Empire, like damn, I did that, like we killed this.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can't mention names because this was all like contracts and stuff like that. I mean, just by saying the word contracts, it was like
that's
huge.
a big deal already. Yeah, you know, for a small business type of thing, contract, that's a big deal.
I had a big company contact me. We're talking about like this company is well established. They're in the softball, baseball world, and they contacted me for my batting gloves. Actually, they liked my stuff. They wanted to work out a deal where I would make their batting gloves and obviously just remove all my logos and put on their logos.
Oh, so they just wanted to use your material?
Yeah, basically use what I had, and they weren't happy with their material, where they were getting their stuff from and all that stuff. So that was probably still is like, as far as like a one deal type of thing, the biggest deal I have ever made. We're talking about like big money, man. Like, at least for me at that moment. For them, it probably was like scrap money, you know what I mean? For me, it was like a huge check that I saw, and I was like,
some eye-opening.
Dude, when I saw the numbers, I was like nervous. I was like, nah, I can't do this. Like, I'm not gonna do this shit. Like, what happens if I mess it up? What happens if I can't complete it? Like, am I gonna get sued? Like, I've never been in a situation, you know what I mean? We're talking about, this is like the first big deal I ever had, man. And once again, man, my partner was like, you can do this. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you've been doing this stuff. It's the same thing, just in a bigger order. Like, calm down, Freddy, calm down. Like, Freddy's always like in a million worlds at once, Yep. So she had to like kind of bring me back to the, planet Earth and be like, same thing you've been doing. You know what I mean? They like what you're doing. Just do it. So yeah, we took care of that. That was exciting, man. When everything was complete, I took some pictures, you know what I mean, just for me to have, like
that's a big moment.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I took a picture of the checks. I was excited. It was big enough that at the time, I don't know how many years I owed my mom for, but I owed her a lot of money for cars that I would get, and they wouldn't work out and they messed up, so I couldn't pay her back. That the first thing I did was give her one of the checks. It was a 2-check thing, you know what I mean. That one check was enough to pay her back everything I owed her and extra, and I was like, here, mom, this is for you. That was when I was like, dude, this is like tight. Like, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, just to get that off where I felt like I could pay back my mom all the money I ever owed her. Was like one of those moments where I'm like, damn, this is, this is legit. I got this. Like, look, mama, look what I did. You know what I mean? Like, so that was one of those moments.
That's dope.
So, sorry to fucking bring down the mood, but what about the opposite? So, was there ever a moment where you wanted to like just shut it down, like, it's done, I want to quit?
Yeah, all the time. I still here you go. Thank you. Shout out to the partner right there hooking us up with water.
Can we shout out the partner? Because everybody loves the partner.
We're not using names. We're just saying partner for
shout
everything.
Shout out partner.
I think it was in the beginning before that big order. I had done these jerseys, and I still wasn't aware of like CMYK, like color coding and stuff like that. So they were supposed to get like these royal blue jerseys, and they came out like purple, something like that. And I lost a lot of money right there. Or like, I've always been the person where like, if I screw up, I'm a cover it. Like, I've never had. I think, at least from what I think, anybody who's ever done anything with me, they can't say anything bad about me, because I've always cleared out anything that I've done wrong. You know what I mean? Anything that's came out messed up, whether it's from me, from manufacturers, from anything, you know what I mean? I've always covered it all, even if it's at my risk of losing money. So when that happened, that was one of the moments, it was still in the beginning, where I was like, damn, dude, like, I'm losing more money than making. So that's one of the times where I kind of just felt like, man, this is not it, That, and I guess more recent, before things started going really good, I started realizing like, damn, dude, I'm getting old. like, am I really gonna like live off of clothing? You know what I mean? Is clothing really gonna pay my bills? Like, you know what I mean? That's one of those times where I really had to like sit and think, and like, I actually decided, like, at that moment, I was like, nah, it's not gonna pay my bills. I need a real job. I need to go to school. I need to do something. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, I didn't I didn't graduate from school. I mean, school's good and all, and I didn't graduate, man. Like, you know, I did a couple college courses when I could. I got my what's that thing called?
GED.
Yeah, that thing.
I don't even know what it's called. You don't even know what it's called.
I took that little test and I got it done. You know what I mean? So I really was like, damn, I had to go to school. I had to do something because this is not gonna pay. You know, I want a house. I want something in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those were one of the moments where I had a lot of like, you know, a lot of dilemmas and you know, a lot of confusion, man. Seeing where, and even to this day, to be honest, like I know things are going good, but having your own business like this, it's hard, man. Like I'm not living off of nobody's check, you know what I mean? I'm not living every 2 weeks. I'm not getting paid like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting paid if things are going good. If things are going bad, then I don't got no money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't got nothing. So it still crosses my mind sometimes. But I don't know. I'm just kind of just riding the wave right now. You know what I mean? If it's going good, just stick to it for now. Yeah. I know that inside my blood, I'll get my pizza job again, which I love, and I'll go. I'll be back and delivering pizzas and
Empire Pizzas.
Yeah. I know. That's
you know
the next drop. Dude.
So regardless, one way or another, if it doesn't work out, I've been working all my life. I know what it is to work, so I'll get back. Yeah, I'll get back. So I gotta just take advantage of this while it's still here. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So following on kind of this theme, what's been the hardest part of just the empire? Like, what's just as far as like running the business, what's the hardest part about it?
Being organized.
Okay.
I don't know how many artists out there are very organized. If they are, that's amazing.
I think it's just an artistical thing, bro.
But I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess. I can't keep anything organized. That thing that's been the hardest thing, like invoices and all that, and like the homie hookups and like, you know, hey, yeah, just take this or, you know, take that. And it's like having to like, hey man, I'm a business, I'm a brand now. Like I gotta account for all that. I gotta treat myself like a brand, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff like that, because when taxes come, hey, Uncle Sam comes charges me, don't go charge my homies, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm technically still working on, because I like to just kind of like, hey, take this or take that, you know what I mean? And I have to pay for it at the end of the year, because that's what the rules are in this country, beautiful place that we live in, you know what I mean? So I think that's definitely the hardest thing that I'm still working on right now, is being organized and setting myself. And I have a lot of plans, actually. I just spoke to someone yesterday, and we hopefully gonna work that out next year so they can help me out and, you know, get that big problem fixed.
You know I'm an accountant, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, friend. I might have found someone else. I'm just playing. I already committed. We already got a done deal.
You're good. You're good. So
I didn't know that.
I'm an accountant, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what I kind of focus on, specializing how to help businesses grow their numbers. And
it's crazy. Sure you never ask these questions, and like, you know what I mean? You don't even know people. I'm telling you, man. That's crazy. You know what? Like,
time out. Pause for the picture. Look, there you go.
That's crazy. I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm an accountant.
Well, I'm horrible at that. You know what I mean? That's been my biggest mess, like being organized and all the like taxes and all that stuff. Like, I'm
gonna tell you right now, just start an Excel sheet. Or a spreadsheet.
So funny thing, this person that I spoke to yesterday, that's exactly what she told me. That's exactly what she told me. She said she loves Excel. She was showing me all these things she's done for her family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Start your Excel sheets and your spreadsheets.
Well, I'm still not going to do that, so I'm going to hire her. Yeah. I'm not. So it's gotten to the point where I have so much work that it feels like work. This feels like work. And that's not how I started. You know what I mean? This was all like, damn, look at this design. This came out tight. Like, I was just enjoying everything I was doing. And now it's like, damn, this is work. So I think if I find a way to get rid of that part of like the whole like being an adult and like, you know, being responsible. And, like, I go back to like loving what I do, and that, you know, and I'll be making not myself happy, but also a lot of more people happy, you know, because right now I have, dude, like, it's crazy. I've never been to the point where I can't respond to people for like a whole week, because I have like all these unread messages and like all these people waiting for design. It's like a mess, dude. And it's like, you know, many people don't know, and now they might know. It's just me. This is it. This is the LA Empire.
It's a one-man show.
Like, I do your designs. I do, you know, the packing, the shipping. You know, I do everything from point A to point B. Like, it's just me. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's people in the middle and stuff like that I pay and stuff like that. You know, but I'm the one running the whole show. I don't have anybody here. I have a lot of friends who support me, a lot of people who give me ideas. I have new partners for new things that I'm doing that are coming in now, so that makes it a lot easier. We got 2 big projects coming up. Hopefully we're still in the works of them, and I got partners for that, so that's been amazing. I know financially it's not going to be all my finance now, but dude, it's so amazing that they do a lot of the work, and I'm just, you know, they're kind of like hovering around and like, all right, this is cool, this is not, or like, let's do this, let's do that. It's so amazing having them come in and do a lot of the work for me. You know, it's been dope.
So touching on that, actually, that last part you just said, like I said, we've known the brand since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that you've always done is collaborate with people, from Lefty to Zelly to just different people.
Yeah.
So what makes you want to collaborate so much with these other people and other like designers and people that just come to you with ideas compared to, I mean, we know a lot of brands that just
for sure
refuse to do that type of stuff. So
it's a couple things, you know, going back to where I come from, I'm a hip hop artist, you know. Hip hop's always known for collabs and stuff like that. Like that's what I grew up on. Like, you know, graffiti artists, like, hey man, let's go do this together. It's always been like a teamwork for all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, so I came up from that world where it's like there's no such thing as like it's just you know what I mean? Like for anything you want to do in life, you gotta, you know, bring your squad with you, bring your team with you, bring people with you, you know. Like I've never been a hater, man. I used to like be at hip hop shows and I'm like, damn, that guy can flow dope, you know, he raps really good. And I'll be like, hey man, what's up, man? My name's this and that. Like I make some beats, like can we collab on some stuff? And they'll be like, yeah, let me show you what you got, you know. So I've always loved working with artists. I've always loved working with people. So when I got into the softball world, I realized like, shoot, all these players, all these people, like they have ideas too, you know what I mean? Like some of them are not like the most artistic, some of them are really artistic, and it's been dope. It's been a really cool experience, like meeting these people in I meet them first in a softball level, but then we get into deeper and they're like artists themselves, you know what I mean? So it's been like this so like awesome, and the collabs are like my favorite thing, dude. Like out of all this stuff, like collabing is like my most like I like this shirt I'm wearing right now is a collab shirt. Like I love collabs more than anything right now at this moment. It's so cool like to pick their brain and then pick my brains and us come up with this like cool ideas. And then me see it live, I'm like, damn, this feels tight, you know, because like I said, right now it's been so much work that my mind's been kind of like cloudy, you know what I mean? Like my artistic mind's been very cloudy. So having these other artists, these other people give me ideas, it kind of gives me that, you know,
that refresher. And that makes you wanna,
you know, like it kind of like, oh hell yeah, I get back into it. Like if I'm a little kid again, like
start bouncing ideas off.
Yeah, dude. And shout out to all those people, man. You know, I'm not mentioning names just because I don't want to, you know, but I'm choosing not to mention names. But one of the guys that he did name right now, he's an amazing artist, and dude, this guy, like, big shout out to him, man. He's an amazing guy, tattoo artist. He's just a great person, you know what I mean? This guy's a very talented player, you know. He's very good. People are scared of that guy. That guy just hits really hard hits. Like I don't think anybody wants to stand in front of us when he's hitting the ball. But for me, I'm a nobody, man. I'm learning how to play. Like I don't even know how to play, man. My partner taught me how to play. I didn't grow up in this world. I didn't ever play baseball, any of that in my life. She taught me how to play, and little by little, I figured it out, man. I'm still not good, you know. I'm just I'm just there, just, you know, just
having a good time.
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying to have a great time, man. Just, you know, and this guy, man, he's like, obviously at my level, we're talking about like he's just amazing. I'm just like this little guy, you know what I mean? So
little league to the pros.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Little league to pros, exactly. And when he saw my stuff, and he's like, came up to me, man, super humble dude. He's like, hey man, I like your work, everything like that. I give him the idea, like, hey, let's do a collab, you know, and stuff like that. We're tattoo skills, you know, get some stuff. Yep. 1 design, 2 designs, 3 designs. We're probably like at 10, 15 designs now. We chop up, man. He actually just finished giving me this like beautiful art piece. It's right there. You can probably see it right there on your side. Yeah, man, he just gave it to me, dude. And I was like, nah, that's a blessing. Like from an artist to give me like something that they drew in their hands, it's just like dope, man. And he pumps me up, man. I remember one time we were at a park and he was telling all these people like, hey, yeah, man, this guy right here, LA Empire Freddy, man, this guy's amazing. Like, he's so talented. I'm like, damn, dude, like, this is crazy. Like, this, I'm over here thinking this guy's like amazing and talented. He's over here hyping me up to these guys. And then the guys in the back were like, yeah. He's done like, man, y'all don't know me. Like, y'all don't, y'all diss me all the time. Especially in this world, it's been a very unique journey. A lot of baseball players, and I'm just speaking from what I've experienced. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's different all the time, but I've sadly bumped into a lot of like a-holes, a lot of people who think they're better than everybody else, like, who are you, like, type of thing, like, you suck, dude, go sit down, type of thing, ain't nobody giving anybody chances here, which I'm okay with that. I've always been a hard worker. I've always understood, you want anything, you have to work hard for it. But some of these people are just straight out just jerks, dude, like, just really bad vibes, so to see this guy being all the way up here and like shouting me out, and then seeing all these other guys who don't even know my name be like, oh yeah, he's dope, yeah, we know what Empire is. Like, no, you don't, bro, no, you don't. Like, you're hyping me up because of this guy, what I mean? Yeah. It's a funny experience, man. Like, I have my list of all the people. I have a list in my head, bro, and the list is all the people who hated on me and all the people who show me love. Yeah, and that's all gonna come in time for a reason, and it's all gonna show. You know what I mean? I don't wish bad on nobody or anything like that, but I just know all these suck-ups that ain't gonna work out, bro. I know who you are, you know what I mean? I know what happened in the beginning. Nope. You could pay full price if you want, you know what I mean? All my originals, grab whatever you want. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is that type of thing where I have that in my head because there's just a lot of hate in this world, dude. It's crazy. A lot of hate.
Yeah. I mean, we've been there from playing tournaments, and then people, like you said, people that didn't even know you, they're just like, that shit's whack.
Yeah.
Like, what? You don't even know this brand. Like, you haven't even seen anything. You don't even know this guy. Yeah, I still remember those early days,
I've had stuff, dude, where it's like, it sucks, dude. It gets personal sometimes. Like, I've had people that are like so-called like friends or whatever that I thought, like, because a friend knew a friend, it would work out, I would be like giving him like free stuff, and then they would never wear it, and I'll be like, damn, that's just whack, you know what I mean? Like, and that was like in the early stages, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn. And like now people are, it's funny, the same people are like now hitting me up like, hey, what's up, man? Like, so you I'm like, yeah, I remember you, yeah, here, full price.
You had a chance.
Yeah, here, full price, bro, you know what I mean? So there's actually a lot of those people, and it's funny, man. It's crazy the way people are sometimes. They don't want to like help nobody out, man, and it sucks. I've had even brands themselves, man. I have a lot of brands. Like I told you guys, that big moment was when a brand actually hit me up, and shout out to them, man. They're amazing people. They were cool to work with. That was a big moment. But I've also had brands where I used to pass out my little stickers, and it had like my Instagram. Right, yeah, so yeah, one of those, the original ones right there. And they had like my Instagram name, and I had my little logo, and I would like go to tournaments and just walk around, pass them all like, hey man, follow my brand. I had this brand, dude. I'm not mentioning names again, but I very dislike him. If he hears this one day, he'll know who he is because he was a complete asshole. I gave him a little sticker, I don't know nobody. Keep in mind, bro, I didn't come from this world. I don't know who's who, nothing. I'm just passing out my stickers, just trying to get out there. Give him my sticker. He looks at it. He's like. He gives it back to me. He's like, oh, I have my own brand. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And I grab it. And he's like, blah, blah, I'm from this brand, this and that. I'm the owner. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just starting my own brand. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't need this. And he gives me back the sticker.
What?
Yeah. And then I was like, cool down, bro. Like, this is a different world. You're not going to, you're not hood no more. You grew out your hair. This is not those days. We're trying to stay away from all that stuff. Let it be. Yeah. I walked away, bro. To this day, there's a conspiracy theory with me and a couple friends that guy bites all my styles. And I've seen his logo change from when I came out to when he came out. Now he has his little home plate thing like that. And I prove it, bro. I could prove it to anybody who wants. So they go back to before I came out. They go scroll back. His logo was completely different from when my logo came out. He uses my name for his brand stuff. You know what I mean? Like this, you know what I mean? And there's a couple brands like that too. You know what I mean? It's not just them. There's another brand that does the same thing. And it's crazy, man. Like, I don't see where we need to be crashing, you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of money, there's plenty of people that will buy anybody's gear. Like, like, if I see you rock that NY hat, I'm like, hey, take that shit off. You can't be doing this interview. I'm going to post it on my page, like, put my hat on. Yeah. It is what it is, bro. Like, you're wearing that. I'm not going to care, you know what I mean? But believe it or not, there's brands out there that I've heard stories, and I believe the people, because it's been more than one person who tells me, like, hey, this brand said I can't wear your guys' stuff. Like, what do you mean you can't wear my stuff? What does that mean? Okay, don't wear it. And they're like, nah, I told them I'm going to still wear it no matter what, but, It's crazy, bro. Like, I trip out on that. Like, how much hate there is out there. Like I'm a nobody, bro. Like, y'all don't have to be scared about me. I'm just creating stuff. If people buy it, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not this millionaire who's gonna buy you guys out, bro. You guys been there. You guys are established. You guys shouldn't be afraid of little companies like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I just take it as competition right now. if they want to ever collab, you know, some of them have actually hit me up, and for whatever reasons, it didn't work out that way. But I'm cool with everybody, man. You know, there's just, you know, a couple of things that piss me off sometimes that I understand. It's part of the business, because when I actually talked to that big company, they told me from the get-go, they were like, hey, man, you know, like, I was already following you before you guys, like, when you guys started up. Like, my goal was to look at your stuff and see what you're doing, see what works out, see what doesn't work out, see, you know, basically just follow through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn, like, people do that shit. They're, like, watching you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm over here thinking, like, I'm a nobody, but there's other companies bigger than me
that are watching what you do because of the
and if it looks,
and
if it looks dope, they're just biting it and taking it on their hands.
Yep. Well, I think we talked about this with
for sure.
A certain brand, a pretty big brand, and there was a few items that you had put out.
Yep.
And immediately, I think within like the month, I saw them and we kind of spoke about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are all conspiracy theories. Keep that in mind. I mean, I don't know. We never know. I'm never gonna.
Allegedly.
Yeah. This is
for legal purposes. Allegedly.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the hate that's out there and just the inability to help each other. You know, from the way that you are, the way that we are. Like, there's no reason for it. There's no room for that, and like, at least in our stuff.
And that's why these collabs are so important, man. It's not just people I work with. It's also other brands that we've used our names together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what the whole collab's about. It's not. We're not starting beef, man. We're not here to take each other out, man. There's plenty of money for everybody. Yeah, you know, we're here to grow.
Yeah.
I want to get back a little bit into like the business side of the brand and stuff. Like with current events with the whole pandemic, I know a lot of businesses were affected by that.
Yes, sir.
Did that like hit you hard? Or
yeah, man. Hard, so, by the way, I'm super freaked out by COVID. That's just me, man. Before COVID hit, I was doing like beyond amazing. Like I'm in my prime. Like, I still consider my prime right now. I'm just like doing really good right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So luckily, financially, I had a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but I had a good amount saved, you know, in my account, where it's just like, I don't spend, man. I work all day. Like, I'm not really into stuff besides like shoes. My clothes, I wear my own clothes. You know what I mean? So I don't spend money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting everything. Like, I don't know you guys don't want to know my prices. But, you know, I don't really spend much for my gear. You know what I mean? There's nothing else besides food and shoes. It's like, I don't really spend my money, you know? So I was doing really good. And when COVID hit, everything just shut down. I mean, I had nothing, bro. Like, I was, you know, trying to sell masks or whatever I could to do, you know what I mean? But even then, I know people didn't want to spend money, you know? It was a difficult months for me. And luckily, all my savings went in that, you know what I mean? Which it left me at zero, you know what I mean? I had nothing financially. I was just living off all my savings. I pretty much wasted all my savings. So that was very tough, man. And, you know, right now things are still getting sketchy right now. And I hope it doesn't get to that because it would, you know, things are going really good right now. And if it does, I mean, you know, like everybody else, you know, we'll figure it out. You know, you got to figure it out. But that's definitely that I took a hit bad on that during that time. You know what I mean? I lost a lot. And yeah, I mean, I'm still scared that shit might happen again.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't, man.
Okay, so we've talked about, you know, a bunch of stuff that you've done.
Yeah,
and you got stuff coming out that we can't really talk about. But and then we also kind of got into your personal goal as far as what you define as success.
Yeah.
But what's the ultimate goal you want to reach as far as a brand? Like, as far as the LA Empire, what's the goal that you want to reach with that?
Basically, it's kind of what I've been doing right now is to take it away from softball, and not necessarily like, oh, it has nothing to do with softball no more or anything, but make it just a brand. Like, try to like remove myself from baseball, softball, and just be a brand, you know what I mean? And and it shows. Like, a lot of my designs, like, we have people who like from that follow me from high school and stuff. They don't play baseball, softball, nothing. They rock my stuff because, you know, it's dope, you know what I mean? So as a brand, that's the complete goal right there, just to be a brand, not to be like, oh, this is softball related, this is like that related. Like, nah, it's just a brand, you know. It's something,
break the box out.
Yeah, something cool. And I think I've done a good job of getting to that. You know, I've seen plenty of people who don't play baseball or softball and rock the gear, you know what I mean? Consistently keep buying because we do a lot of dope stuff, you know what I mean? These new shorts that I brought out, like, it's so dope what I started doing like, every time I drop it, I do new designs, you know what I mean? Like, it's dope.
Changing colors,
it has nothing to do with softball, y'all. You know, people can customize their stuff, and that's one big thing is customization, man. Like, people get to do stuff like for tributes to people, you know, a lot of like, you know, rest in peace stuff. Like we do a bunch of stuff, man, and it's I think that's what's been cool. That's the goal at the end, you know, as far as a brand, is to just be this
just a universal type
yeah, of just this brand where it's just art, you know what I mean? Like if you want something dope, let's get it done, you know what I mean? That's, I don't care what you're doing or what you play, or if you don't play anything, like let's get it done. I've done things for rappers and for stuff like that, like custom jackets, like windbreaker jackets and stuff like that, like and that's dope for me. I like doing that kind of stuff where it's like, it's just, let's just make something dope, you know what I mean?
Can I tell you one thing that, and I've told you this before multiple times, that I'm still waiting on?
What's that?
Is LA Empire socks.
Socks, yeah.
I've been
They're very
waiting
expensive.
on those. And I told you this, I think, a long time ago.
And I have like 2 pairs, only mine. Yeah, I have 2 pairs. And,
personal pair.
yeah, and I wear them. And there's like this one buddy of mine who's always like, "Hey, where's my pair of socks?" And you know, I know you've asked me, but when I rock them in the field, like they'd be like, "Hey, where's my pair?" I'm like, "I don't have them." They're like, "Well, you're wearing them. Where are mine?" You know, it's just I've thought about it.
Get in line, homeboy.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but it's expensive, dude. Like I just haven't seen the financial.
Yeah. There's no financial gain.
You know
in
what
it
I mean?
For you.
Yeah, so that's sadly
that's
that's where it comes down to, where I have to think financially what makes sense and what doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
And that's one of the items that didn't make sense for me. And you know, hopefully one day, because I think that deal would be dope. You know what I mean?
I already called dibs on the sock model, because you know my plus size can't be no regular model. So I already called dibs on the sock model. All right. So is there anything we can expect from the LA Empire, just to kind of close out on the brand itself?
Mm-hmm.
Anything we can expect in the future that you can talk about?
That I can't talk about. Let me see. All my haters out there are gonna see this, you know.
Well, too bad, because it's already done. So
we're working on some as far as like softball is related. We're working on some roller bags right now. We have a couple testers. We have that. Let me see what else. It's nothing in the future, but it's kind of been something new that I've been working on. Is with a glove company, an actual, you know, gloves with a Soto. We've been doing a lot of collabs with them.
I've
that's
seen
been
those.
pretty tight, man. I'm doing like these tie-dye kind of gloves, and that's been really cool. And you know, I see companies doing them, which came on whatever. So I'm not gonna get into that. But mines are unique, man. I'm doing them from scratch. I get like special paint for them. I take about good couple, like I want to say like an hour and a half to 2 hours per glove. So these are like, you know, hand painted, and it's been really cool doing that. That's something that I'm gonna continue doing, because it's just, people have been loving them, man. And
those are dope.
And I've been rocking mine, and you know, the paints last for a very long time. We've been rocking them for about a year, and it's still there. I haven't got no complaints so far. So that's something they're definitely working on, and we are working on a couple other stuff that hopefully we get to spread the news soon, man, because we're very excited for another big project that I told you I have partners with.
Yeah.
They're working hard every day trying to get it right, and hopefully that comes out, man. That's gonna like take us to another level, you know what I mean?
Yep. The gloves are definitely dope.
Yeah, they're dope,
love
man.
Those things, man.
They're dope.
Those are dope.
Yeah, it's cool to make them custom, you know, because I became popular with batting gloves, because I don't know how many companies doing it. I can't speak for them, but as far as me, I feel like I'm the only one that's doing you like a 1 pair custom batting glove.
Yeah, like a one of one.
Yeah, like
type
you don't.
of deal.
Yeah, you know, people do like team batting gloves, stuff like that. That's fine, but I was doing like literally 1 pair. You know what I mean? Like just for you. Whatever
Yeah, you didn't need the whole set.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I got popular for. So I kind of wanted to bring that to the actual gloves now. You know.
Yeah.
And so that's why that idea came through. And Soto's been really great with us. They're an old school brand, man. They've been there for a long time. You know, whether you like them or not, you've heard of them because they've been there. You know what I mean?
They're big in the community.
Yeah, so it's cool, man. You know, I got a lot of offers to do my own stuff, like my own thing, but it's just, I go back to the same thing, man. I love collabs, man. I like working with people. You know what I mean? That's my thing. If I could collab with you, let's just do it, bro. Like, I don't need to take credit for something for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's been amazing to work with, and they're really cool people.
I want to transition over, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit already. We've dabbled in it. Let's get into who Freddy is.
Oh, no.
Yes. Let's get into it. So, we all know you, or, well, you guys know him as the Empire. A lot of people don't know you for who Freddy is, like the background, how it created. Like, we talked about the graffiti and the music.
Yeah.
So, let's get a little
deep. Let's get a little deep in
there. Because we can start off by saying we always say we're just a couple kids out of HP.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind us saying, you're from an area very basically next door to us.
Yeah, I'm from Bell. Yeah, from Bell,
So
LA County,
Bell.
right there. Shout out.
So it's just 3 dudes out of Southeast LA up here.
For sure.
So we can start off there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I grew up in a gang background, you know what I mean? So I have a lot of gang history and graffiti attached to that. I was always that that guy who wanted to make the letters extra dope, you know what I mean? These fools were over there just like
calligraphy.
Yeah, they were all just like doing their ugly ass. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to write or something. So I was there like trying to make it all look dope and more of the artistic. So that's how I really got into art. My cousin, rest in peace, he got me into all this stuff, you know what I mean? He got me into music and he got me into music and graffiti and everything, and he taught me. I'm not gonna say he taught me the best stuff, you know what I mean? He obviously it was a gangster lifestyle that he taught me and brought me up on, but
there's lessons learned in that
yeah,
too,
definitely a lot of lessons were learned, positive and negative, and he put me on game on all this stuff, and he saw my art, and like he would teach me like new letters, and like he would actually start teaching me characters, like, hey man, like let's draw this character. So I really came from that. Was basically my background. And then as he started like rapping, he was doing a lot of like gangster rap, so I was listening to a lot of like Wu-Tang during the time and stuff like that. So I was more like trying to get into like my lyrical kind of stuff and getting more into like vocabulary and like learning more about myself. And then from there in high school, I got blessed to have like 2 really good teachers who one of them was my English teacher and one was my photography teacher. My photography teacher would see me do all these side projects, and she'll be like, hey, like, how about you do it and teach the class, and I'll give you credit for it. Okay. So I would do like little animations and stuff, and I would teach my class and like stuff like that, like little small projects. And then, she would hype me up a lot, like, oh, this guy's so amazing, like, he's so talented, so she helped me out a lot. My English teacher would be like, hey, like, instead of an essay, you could write a poem, and like, I'll give you credit, but you need to make sure everything's like, spelled correctly, your punctuation, everything has to be on there, you know what I mean? Okay. So I would write stuff like that. So all that kind of stuff, helped me be who I am, who is, an artist, you know what I mean? So that's, basically, my background. When my cousin passed away, it kind of like threw me off that whole like gang activity. I kind of started seeing like, he didn't pass away from gang activity, but it kind of just brought death to my head, like, damn, people can die, you know what I mean? Like, even though I knew it, you know what I mean? It's something about, you don't think about it till it happens to you, you know what I mean? Till it happens to someone close to you, and you're like, damn, this is real. Like, am I really gonna just continue doing this dumb shit? And like, something happened to me, and then I saw my aunt cry, and I want to see my mom cry like that, you know what I mean? Like, is this, and we could still die from anything, you know what I mean? But just seeing that, and like, seeing that if I stay in the lifestyle that I stay in, that there's a bigger chance that something happens sooner, you know what I mean? So I was blessed by my cousin. He had done some magic where he spoke to people, and we had conversations, and he had a lot of stuff set for me after he passed away, and it was cool to know. And that's kind of what took me like, damn, I need to like step away from this, you know what I mean? I was never a gang member or anything like that. It was, I basically hanged out with them all the time, you know what I mean? So okay. It wasn't hard to kind of like just step back, away. You know what I mean? So that's basically when I decided like, hey, I'm gonna grow my hair. I was bald. I was bald for like my whole life, I think, till I was like 21. I was bald. Then after I started letting my hair grow, started getting like little fades and stuff like that. And yeah, that's Freddy right there, man. After all that stuff, later through the years, I started dealing with like a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, and I still deal with all that right now. It's been one of my setbacks to keep growing. I don't travel. I don't do any. That's a side note. I don't travel anywhere. I'm really like, if I could be in my room all day, that's cool with me. You know what I mean? Just put the AC on, put some music on, and just work. Like, I'm living my best life. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm still constantly dealing with, and constantly going back to that goal of where I want to be at, is working with kids and stuff like that, is, to help people out there, and to speak more about stuff like that, like, anxiety and mental health, like, to make it more normal. Yeah. It's something that I would love to to get involved with. And I do, like, I have my therapy once a week, and it's helped me a lot to learn who I am and who I want to be. And, on a personal note, that's something that I want to accomplish outside of my brand and stuff like that. It's just, speak more on things like this, because a lot of people deal with a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And we're too afraid to talk about it, or, basically that's like really the main thing, you're too afraid because you think people are going to judge you, or you think you're the only one. And that's basically my whole lifestyle. I chose to be, I was like 29, 28 when I started therapy. So it's not that long ago, I finally gave in, and I was like, you know what, these panic attacks are not going anywhere. I need to figure something out, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff that I dealt with, have, put me in that place where I deal with a lot of anxieties and stuff like that. So that's something that I've been working on, something that I still have a hard time with, and I'm still working on, but, it's cool to talk about it now. Before I wouldn't be able to talk about it, and now I speak about it, I'll be like, hey, man, I can't, bro. I'm going to get anxious right now. I can't do that, And it sucks, man. Sometimes it does suck. I feel like it's definitely shut me down from getting bigger and a lot of stuff, but it's something definitely that, we're working on,
Yeah. I think, well, at least for us, you're a little younger, but I think we come from an era where it was frowned upon to talk about that
for
stuff.
sure.
Like, it was always, as far as men, like, men don't cry, like, suck it up, go do it. So you're in this place now where, like you said, 28, 29, now way later than you should have. You're finally getting this.
Yeah, man. Crying's good, dude. It's amazing, dude. Yeah. Crying will make you feel a lot better, dude. Like, you'd be surprised, man. You have a good cry, and you're like, damn, I feel relieved. Like, that was a lot I was holding in.
Off the shoulders.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's so it's definitely a different point of view now in my life. I'm not ashamed of who I am, or who I want to be, or who I'm trying to get at, because I'm very proud of what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? I'm very proud of where I'm at in my life right now, of things I've achieved in my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's I'm not embarrassed of that, and I say that, and I still technically am sometimes. Like, I'm still like, I don't want to talk about it, but I've come a long way where I'm like, yeah, man, I deal with anxiety, I deal with mental health. Like, I go to programs and stuff like that. I'm out getting help, like, you know what I mean? And it's still weird sometimes, but I just see it now, like, hey, if you don't gotta talk to me after, or you whatever, think a certain way of me, then that's fine. You're probably the people that I don't need around me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's definitely been a cool experience, man. That's been a big growth for me, like, to accept who I am. You know what I mean? To finally see, like, that I have anxiety, and it's all right. It's gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I've talked about before.
Yeah, I seen it. I heard that one. Yeah.
It's like, back then it was, I guess, denial, sort of.
For sure.
You're just like, no, I'm good. I'm just having a bad day, bad week, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think just the giant step is being like, yes, I am actually dealing with anxiety. I am actually dealing with depression. And that's just huge.
It's,
like you
it's
said,
a big thing, man. And I love my mama, but so many times I've heard, you don't have nothing. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. You don't have nothing. I'm like, nah, something's wrong with me, lady. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm tripping out right now. Like, something is wrong with me. Like, but and I don't blame her for nothing. But it's just like you said, it's where we our culture, that lifestyle, like, it just wasn't normal. You know what I mean? So and it's still, for her, I still talk to her sometimes, and she's still kind of like, you sure you still need therapy?
I mean, like, for us, if we came from that, for them, it's like even worse.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, and that's why I don't blame her for anything. I accept her point of views when I tell her, like, Mama, I need therapy. It helps me, you know what I mean? And when I talk to people, whether, I bring it up, man, because you'd be surprised how many people I've talked to, and then they have so much things that they've gone through and they can't speak about because they feel like they couldn't speak to nobody about it. You know what I mean? So you'd be surprised if you're out there and you're dealing with that. If you really, really want to help somebody, I know you can't help yourself. I know it's very difficult, but you can start by just talking about it, because someone else you can help by just showing them that they're not the only ones. You know what I mean? That, hey, we feel the same way. Like, you know what I mean? We're dealing with trauma too. It may be a little bit different, but the feelings to talk about it. And that's something that I've been working on. And I spoke to so many people, and I've gotten to meet people at a whole new level that I already knew. But now we're like so like in sync because we're in that same world, you know what I mean? And it's been such an amazing thing to do and to practice, you know?
How'd you get to that point? Because I know, like, I mean, as we've said it, like, it's hard to get to that point.
For sure.
Even just talking to somebody, to where now you're talking to not even just therapists, just people
For sure
to know them in that level.
I think is it feels like therapy right now, you know what I mean? But you know, it's okay. I'll be honest, and it was like 2-3 in the morning, waking up, full on panic, like you know, just straight like movie scene, like just straight panic attack. I had a 2 before that one. That was the third one, and that's when I was like, I can't. This is like gone way too far, you know. I knew as an adult it was only gonna get worse, you know what I mean? If I was doing this kind of stuff when I was a kid, as an adult it's gonna be a lot worse, you know what I mean? So having that panic attack as an adult already, I just knew I needed help, you know what I mean? So I went on myself, started looking online and, you know, looking for mental health programs and stuff like that to help me, and I signed myself up, and they did the whole evaluation, whatever, and they put me in the program, and it's you know, it's still nerve-wracking sometimes, you know. Sometimes I don't want to go, sometimes I don't want to talk to nobody, you know, but it's for a good reason, man. So that's, you know, it took a big fall for me to be like, hey, I need to get up, you know.
That was really deep, actually. That was really dope of you to share that.
Thank you for opening up too.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, yeah, man.
So, and again, I think that goes into like a lot of people that just don't even know that side to you. So
yeah, for sure, man. I try to hide it as much as I can, but I gotta practice, you know, doing it. So might as well do it right now. For all my little group of followers, it is what it is. That's who I am. You know,
hey, man, you got more followers than we do. So.
Nah,
all right. So, have any of these experiences and things like your childhood growing up, your cousin, and then dealing with the anxiety and stuff, did any of that contribute to your entrepreneurial side? Because obviously you run a company, you know, you run a company. So as far as for me, like a lot of my past and a lot of the stuff that I deal with contributed to why I wanted to start this.
For sure.
So did any of that contribute to you being an entrepreneur, or was it just something that has always been there? Like you said, you worked a bunch of jobs.
Yeah, it's just I've always worked, man. The anxiety, all that stuff I deal with, all that, you know, all that bad stuff in my life, some people may not see it because I kind of just throw it in there. Like a lot of my designs have like hidden messages, man. You know what I mean? So I let it out and kind of stuff like that. And I still work on a lot of stuff. Like, you know, I'm still working on my green ribbon stuff, which is for mental health. And, you know, I got a lot of projects that I'm working on soon, trying to be open more to that idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gotta obviously I don't know shit about starting up your own business and any of that. So like, how does that work? How do you not get sued? How do you stop people from stealing like your actual logo?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like I know when I walked into the room, the first thing I saw was a trademark.
Yeah, that's like my trophy right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just secured in the bag. You know what I mean? That was like having my logo is dope, man. Like my logo is amazing. Like I could actually brag about that because I'm in love with my logo. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy how someone, like, you know what I mean? Like you talk about like in music, like when I always worked, we talked about like when I went to, you know, a couple buddies of mine, like people who I've in music, I work with people who are actually already out there, who, you know, who've been doing it, and and we've always heard the term where it's like there's no more originality. It's just, you know, we kind of just repeat everything, you know what I mean? And you throw in your own flavor in there, but it's not really.
It's not really original.
Yeah.
It's your version of it.
So with art, it was kind of the same thing where it's like, you know, everyone does a skull and now you're going to just give your own little twist to it or whatever. So when I came up with this, I was like, I didn't think it was like an original. I'm like, I'm pretty sure somebody did this already at one point or another, you know what I mean? It's a home plate and the 3 bats in the middle, you know what I mean? It looks dope. And when, you know, I talked to the lawyers and everything, that, you know, we had to sketch it all down. They had to have the logo and go through the process of like, it took about a year. It's like a big process and it's like a couple steps. So they do one check and that one clears, but they go through a deeper check and stuff like that. And like, it was cool when I got the paperwork. Like I saw like all these like famous companies and stuff, like, you know, even like professional baseball teams. I'm like, oh shoot, like this is like real stuff. Like, you know, they're trying to make sure. So I was still kind of nervous where I'm like, damn, hopefully they don't come and tell me that I can't use it, that something, you know, any little detail, it's like, it's just, I can't. And when they came back, told me like, hey man, you cleared. I was like, damn, that's tight. Like, that's dope, man. That's like crazy. Nobody thought about this. Like, really? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like this is something that, you know, I created. It's just like, it's really cool, man. Like that's been like one of the main things that like I feel proud about, and it's like it's mine, like it's my logo, like this is my stuff. As far as everything else, like the whole swing, shoot, I don't know either, bro. I don't know, I don't know how that works, and you know what I mean. I hope it never comes to that. I understand that's part of the business, and it may happen one day or another for maybe something. I don't know what they can sue me for. I don't know, color scheme, or I don't know what it is, man. And if that happens, then I guess I'll learn there. What I can't do anymore. But I've been blessed where it hasn't came to that extremity. The logo is mine. It's I have it trademarked, everything. The name's trademarked, copywritten. So it's I don't know. I don't know what happens as far as something like that. But as far as like the whole business thing and stuff like that, I don't know. It's just something. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest, bro.
You're just doing it.
Yeah,
just a kid out of Bell,
I have
man.
no idea.
Just a kid out of Bell living his dream.
I have no idea, bro. What I'm really doing, and I'm learning as I go, and I'm still learning right now. Every day, literally, as cheesy as it is, I'm still learning every day. Every day is a learning experience. You know what I mean?
That's the only way to do it, though.
For sure.
The only way to get better is to never feel satisfied with where you're at. So,
and you have to fail. You have to fail a lot. True. A lot of failure comes with any kind of success. You know what I mean? Whether it's a big achievement or a small achievement, you have to fail. I mean, and I went with a couple of those stories how I talked about how things didn't go right for me, and that's the only way. Any small company, like by all means, if pick my brain, you can, man. Like by all means, hit me up. Like I'm all for it. I've talked to many people before. A lot of people have actually came up to me like, hey man, like how do I do this or how do I do that? I'm like, look, I can't give you my sources and everything. Like we can't get into depth and full depth because it took me a lot of years to be here. But I could tell you how I thought about it, how I came to that. Kind of give them clues to find their own ways to do their business. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely like always open-minded to help people. I always like listening, and if I could help you out, like I will. Like I don't frown upon nobody or anything like that. Like if there's a new company, like even if it's involved with the softball world, like hell yeah, bro, let's do it. Like this is what I know. Like you can start out with a collab with me, and then hopefully that helps you out. You know what I mean? I'm all for any company trying to start up, man, because it's definitely a hard journey. So I definitely think that any small company needs support from anybody that can get it from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I know you don't want to drop names or nothing, but were there any like role models or businesses or business people, either like entrepreneurs who you looked up to during both personal and like
for sure. There's two people, my mom and my brother. My mom is day one. I mean, we've been hustling, man, since I can remember. Like, you know what I mean? I can't get into full details on things, but it's just my mom's been like always working jobs and stuff like that. My brother's been always, my oldest brother, he's always been grinding out. He owns a collision center, so I've always like looked up to him to see like if he can make it out of nothing, like I can, I can do it too. You know what I mean? Like that's my brother. Like, you know what I mean? So seeing him work from like small little shops to like a more medium sized shop. Then he found like the little hole in the wall shop he opened up, and then another shop, and then he has this freaking huge collision center now. It's like, damn, dude, like that's the process right there. You know what I mean? That's the years of hard work. That's what it takes. You know what I mean? Seeing my mom bouncing from house to house, you know what I mean? Going, not knowing where we're living the next day, and then now she has her own house. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal right there. You know what I mean? Like those kind of people in your life inspire you to be a better person. You know what I mean? And it makes you understand that you have to struggle to be anywhere like good in life. You know what I mean? Nothing's gonna come easy. You know, and maybe for some people it does, but at least for me, nothing comes easy. You know what I mean? Like everything I do from since I started and from now on is always, I'm aware it's gonna be a struggle to get there. You know what I mean? But I understand that once you accomplish that struggle, it's a beautiful thing to stand there and be like, I came from over here, right? You know what I mean? I'm here now and I did this now. Like it's such a beautiful feeling to be in that atmosphere and that place to be like,
the journey makes it just that much sweeter.
Yeah, man. And those are my mom, my brother, they've been huge influence on understanding the concept of true hustle. You know what I mean? We're not talking about no dope dealers or anything. Like we're talking about like hustle, like doing all you can do, like legally, to make it out, you know what I mean? Because that's what my mom was big on that. Like, don't do nothing stupid, you know what I mean? Don't do nothing dumb, Freddy. Like, there's plenty of ways. You don't have to do this kind of dumb stuff. Like, there's plenty of things you can do. And that's the reason why she bought me my first screen print machine, because, she didn't want me to be in the streets doing dumb stuff. You know, she's like, you can make money out of your art. You're doing something, make shirts for people, And that's how the whole idea, And then my brother always helped me out. Like I said before, when I worked with him, he always like, hey, Freddy, do a design for our shirts or do this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've been very blessed, man, where I've had people like that influence me to be this like entrepreneur, to be this person that I am now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I've been blessed.
That's dope to have people like that in your corner. Like,
yeah,
they basically lay out a blueprint for you. Like, this is how you do it, and we got your back. You're all the way through it. So
for sure.
That's really dope. Have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, was business ownership always the top of your mind, or?
Nah, I want to be a rapper.
That makes two of us.
I want to rap, dude. I love rapping. I make beats, and I love to rap, and I be closing my eyes sometimes, and I'm just chilling, and I'm a rapper, bro. Like, that's what I am. I'm living a rap life, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude. It's just, that's what I actually wanted to do. I've always like music. I love music, from, old school music to modern music. Like, I mess with everything, man. I love music. That's like my number one, like, love, you know what I mean? And art just kind of came there, and, financially it helped me out a lot. So I was like, all right, cool. I could lean this way, and I still do music, just for fun when I'm bored and stuff. I mean, I have a whole booth set up back here. No. When they told me like, hey, yeah, we're going to build you your office, your studio. We were like, they were all thinking like, oh yeah, like, empire this, empire that. I'm like, hey bro, like, if I'm making this however I want, I need a booth. And they're like, a booth? Like, yeah, like a music booth. Like, I need a microphone hanging. I need a screen, and I have all that in there, dude. Like, it has everything, this computer in the back is to make my beats and stuff like that. Like, and they were like, dude, like, you're not even gonna work on Empire. I'm like, nah, I'm probably not, but you know what I mean? Like, this is like this is like my little dream, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool to kind of get to that place where it's like, I'm building this. Like, I financially got myself to a place where I could build whatever I want, and I want a booth.
That's
yeah,
dope.
I went from recording to a little closet. I got this all soundproofed and everything now. It's amazing, man. It's cool.
So is there any financial gain in doing music? Like, is that something you might like,
that's something
go back to actually rapping?
No, not necessarily like that. So right now, to this day, forever since I started music, I still make beats for people, and I sell beats like to other artists that they already know who I am, so they contact me, and I make them beats. And so I've always actually made money off of music still, you know what I mean? And then I've done music videos. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of editing for actual, like, dude, this it's crazy, man. There's this hip hop artist that I grew up listening to, and I got a chance to do a video for them and be part of it. I don't do drugs anymore. Drugs are very bad, right? Drugs are very bad. But this guy, the video was a marijuana video. Like, it was all about weed. The whole song was about weed, man.
I remember. Yeah.
That thing was crazy, dude. Like, I seriously think I got high that day. Like, it was bad. Like, there was so much weed in the air. It was crazy, man. Like, it was a cool experience, but at the same time, I had a little mini panic attack because I thought I was really high.
Yeah.
And I was tripping out, but so I still do things for, like, music wise that I get paid for, stuff like that. Yeah.
Is there anything else, like, business wise, that you want to pursue? Like, you have clothing, you have music. Is there, like, just, I don't know, real estate or something like that?
I don't know. I had like my little phase where I was just baking. And I always wanted to, like, yeah, dude, like
cookies and cakes.
Yeah, like little cupcakes. And I always thought, like, damn, why can't I sell this? Like, have a little, like, I always wanted to set up, like, in those little, like, booths, like, just to nobody, and just, like, sell, like, my cookies and, like, my brownies and little things. Like, I like a lot of stuff, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so there's not necessarily, like, a certain thing I want to do. I always see myself as doing everything, just because I think it's fun, man. I think it's cool, the experience to, like, do these new things and, like, to show it to people, and, like, because everything that I do, I like to give it 1,000%. You know what I mean? So, like, for my beats, like, I go over it a million times. Like, I don't half-ass anything. You know what I mean? Like, I try to do my best for everything, and, like, make sure it's as legit as I can make it. You know what I mean? So if it's beats, if it's my clothing, if it's like making my little cupcakes or whatever, like I like to go all out, bro. Like, you know, I go and buy extra stuff that some of the stuff I never even use, you know, but I like prepared myself for like the biggest cake in the world, you know, like, you know, learning how to do fondant and all that stuff, you know, and it's like, I don't even do some of that stuff, you know, but it's just like I get to that point where it's like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna get everything I need to make sure I do this dope, because I'm not gonna present something that's, you know, half-assed. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see whatever comes up. You know, you never know. Okay. Somebody might come give me a new idea, and I might just go off with it and let's go. Let's do it. You know.
We need some new cakes for birthdays, weddings.
Yeah, dude.
Order.
Yeah, LA Empire Bakery Shop.
Yeah, man. I do a little bit of everything, man. You know, it's fun. I was customizing shoes for a while too. I like that a lot. It's a cool experience, man.
I think all the customization stuff you do is just dope.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
What's your rapper name, by the way?
I had a very weird name that I don't like to use. But I just kept it because my cousin who passed away gave it to me, and he called me Rolex. Rolex, like the watch, you know? And I didn't think it was a cool name, you know? And he was like, he had a piece of paper, and he had like a couple names there. He's like, hey, pick your name. And then I looked at the sheet, and I was like, oh, you know, I seen this name, whatever. And he's like, I like this name for you. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, Rolex. And he spelled it ROLCKS. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I mean, he was like my hero, you know what I mean? He was like, whatever he says, just I gotta do, you know what I mean? I was like, but what am I gonna tell people? You know, you always have to have a story for your name. He's like, tell them, because if they ask you, you always know what time it is. And I was like, all right, cool, you know, like I was like 12 or 13, so I was like, all right, cool, I know what time it is. My name's Rolex, you know what I mean? So that was like, I kept that along as like my graffiti name and a rap name, you know. And as I got older, I was like, I don't want to use that name, dude, like, you know, like. So a couple years after, once I started changing like my music and stuff, like I changed it just to Freddy G, which is Gomez, my last name, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we find your music out there?
Nah, that's a secret, top secret stuff. Yeah, top secret stuff.
Safe?
Yeah. Even though you could, but yeah, top secret stuff.
We're gonna have to go digging now.
Yeah, you have to dig. Yeah, but I mean, people that follow me here, if they find a way to find my personal page is basically based on my music. Because like I said, I love music. That's like my number one love. So when they find my personal page, they'll see that who I really am as far as music wise.
Yeah.
Going back a little bit to the brand, have you been places, or because I have a couple stories, but have you been places or like even where you just see your people wearing your stuff, like where you wouldn't expect it?
Me personally, no. Remember back, I don't travel, I don't do nothing. Yeah. You're good.
Right.
No, but no, you're good.
You're good.
But I've had a lot of cool experiences where people hit me up and be like, hey, I went to this J. Cole concert and I saw somebody rocking your hat. That was you, right? Yeah. No. But that was you. And that was my brother, too. My little brother told me the same thing, too. We had this other booth, too, where we set up at a booth, and this girl came up to us like, hey, we just saw you guys at a UCLA big event, like a football event or whatever. They're rocking your hat, like, you know. So I've heard a lot of cool stories, you know what I mean? Like, and that's pretty cool. Like, and me personally, I ship out to like Hawaii, to like all sorts of states, dude. So I could just imagine like someone out there's rocking. It's cool. Yeah, it feels really cool. Gear, you know. But small story. This is like one of the funnest thing. I to this day, it still happens, and I love it, dude. I like go to like parks or whatever, and then like rocking my gear, my shirt, like full on t-shirt, shorts, rocking the hat, pass right through me, bro. Like just right through me. No, they don't know who I am. They don't know who I am. They just rock right through me. I just look at it like, that's tight. You know, like I like that. Which is the reason why I never wanted to do this video, you know what I mean? Because now I'm a little bit more. Yeah, even though a lot of people know, a lot of people still don't know who it is.
The majority of people
don't
they get it mixed. The face
they get it mixed up. I have a buddy of mine, a really good friend of mine. He always tells me like, people think it's my brand. I'm like, that's good. It is your brand, bro. Like, yeah, keep it. I don't want it. You can keep it. You know what I mean?
Keep
like,
the attention.
You keep the face, bro. And he always makes fun of me about that. Like, people always think it's my brand. I'm like, yeah, it is your brand, bro. Like all the complaints, everything given to you. Like I'm good, bro.
Start charging them. On that topic, I still remember we had the first on-air appearance with the LA Empire at the World Baseball Classic. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was you. Yeah. That was tight.
That was us, and I had so many people texting me and tagging me and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't even have Instagram at the time. I'm like new to that stuff.
For sure.
But on like Facebook and just text messages. They were just, "Hey, is that you? Hey, that's the brand."
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
you're on
tight.
TV.
That was dope. That was such a cool thing. That was happy. And then you had a Kike holding the shirt, and I was like, "Damn, that's tight." I mean, they scroll down on the Instagram account, they'll see all those pictures. It was so dope, man, to see it on TV. I had a couple of my friends and cousins like send me screenshots, like, "Hey, man, you guys came out on TV and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, like that was a really cool experience." By the way, shout out to you guys, man. That was really cool.
I have it's a hat. You had only made, I think, when you sold it to me, you said like two of them, and it was a USA hat on the.
Oh yeah, like little
white. I have that hat. It's signed by Stanton and by Yelich.
There it is, dude. You know what I mean?
You have a shirt with most of the Puerto
Rican national.
Yeah, Puerto Rican national team.
Yeah, that was a cool, man. That was a really cool experience. That was tight. I got a lot of people hit me out during that time. You know, that was cool.
I remember that one. Yeah, that one was dope. All right, so getting back to just finishing up this conversation we're having, what's the secret to success, bro? Like, if somebody asks you for your knowledge as far as being a hustler and creating their path to like what you have accomplished thus far, what would be your answer? What would you give them? What advice do you have?
Just be you. Like, just whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whoever it is that you are, just be that person. You know what I mean? I think that was the best thing that I did. You know, it's not that I didn't care. I always like felt like, damn, these people don't like my stuff. It's not, but I've always kept pushing myself. Like, I'm gonna go through this. Like, people are gonna, you know, and it's just being who I am. Like, you know, I've taken my designs, and sometimes I've gone a little bit outside the box and done something a little bit off, and people like eat it up and they're like, yeah, this is dope. You know what I mean? So I think that's like the biggest thing to success is just being truly yourself. You know what I mean? Not this person that you want people to think who you are. Yeah. It's really being who you are, and I think that will take anybody far in anything they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that, because that's what we do on here. Keep it 100. Okay, so you already know, and you know it was coming. The title to the episode. It's your episode.
Okay.
We need a music reference. You can't pick your own music title. You can't pick a song that you've made, just because nobody's gonna be able to find that. So a song title, album, anything that you want that represents either, you know, LA Empire represents you, this episode, whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Do you have something? Or you want a little time? We hit our socials real quick.
Yeah, we need a little time right now.
Okay. So we'll hit the socials while he thinks about it. You already know the podcast about nothing is at Best LA. You can find me at +size assassin, 1S and +size.
You find me at Garcia_74.
And you gotta go follow the LA Empire.
At the LA Empire, just the way it is.
There it is.
The LA Empire. Oh, we still need a name, huh?
We need the name, bro.
Damn, that's a tough one. I should have thought about this. You know, you told me about this, and I should have had it on the dot. You know, I'm thinking of many stuff. I'm kind of leaning towards a little bit of Kendrick Lamar. Let me see.
Is it because you said he's gonna have his last album on TDE?
I heard, huh?
Because I know you're a big Cole fan.
Yeah, big Cole, big Kendrick, and just I don't know. I'm gonna need a lot of time for this. I'm also leaning towards some Mac Miller.
So that's something we didn't get into actually a little bit, like music wise. Like who do you like? Who do you like try to base your music off of?
I like a lot of stuff. As far as like hip hop, we're talking about Kendrick, J. Cole, Psycho Realm, Atmosphere, Mac Miller, you know, Billie Eilish. You know, like we go down to some emo ass music too. You know what I mean? Like Carla Morrison. You know, Jessie Reyes. Like we're all over the place. You know what I mean? With music, it's just a lot of music. And I probably even listen. You know what? I probably listen to more of that stuff than rap. It's weird. I might just go towards Jessie Reyes or something like that for my title. You know what I mean?
Jessie Reyes is dope.
I think we'll go with Figures.
Figures?
Yes, sir. Figures.
All right. There you go. We got Figures.
And right. I want to put you on the spot real quick.
Yes, sir.
What are the chances we get a freestyle?
Damn.
At the end of the episode.
Damn. That's a hard one, you know. I don't know. I think we're at little to none right now. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Sorry,
you know
y'all. No freestyle.
Yeah.
Damn, out here trying to get
I had
everything.
to, man. Hey.
Nah, yeah. And you know what? I actually thought before, I was like, damn, maybe I should like come up with something in case it comes up. You know what I mean? But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna deny it.
Quick little 16.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna just deny it, man, because this is like, yeah.
All right, we had a really dope closing on one of the last episodes where our homeboy Medina just going off to the military gave out a little shout out to his family or whatever. So I want you to do the closing for us. So any final words, any insight, any knowledge, motivation, message, anything you want to get out there to close this out with?
For sure. Let me see. I guess we'll go back to the whole thing we're talking about. Just, you know, be yourself. Don't be afraid to tell people how you feel. You know, if you want to grow in life, always understand the concept of working with people is always better than trying to do things alone. You know, I appreciate a lot of my day ones. I know who you are. I'm not going to ever forget that. Now the new people that are coming that truly, you know, actually like what I do and, you know, really support me, I appreciate all of that. But at the end of the day, to be anywhere in life, you have to have a good solid foundation, you know what I mean? And I think that's the most important thing that we're trying to all look for is our foundation, our peace, you know, our love, what makes us happy in life. And I've been blessed in life that this is where I'm at right now, and I'm very happy with the way things are going. And I hope it continues this way, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys, you know, coming down here. We're going to get back to that real fast. Sorry. I made these guys come over here because I'm super anxious and I didn't want to go anywhere and I didn't want to get out of my comfort zone. So they had to come to the dungeon to get this little interview done, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys, you know what I mean? We're going back to that same thing about being yourself and being true. And if you do that, the right people will stay around, you know what I mean? And that's very important, just to be yourself no matter what you're trying to do.
We thank you for letting us come into the dungeon.
Yes, sir.
Doing this interview. I know it was we had talked you into it for a little while.
Yeah,
I talked you into it for a little while, but I know I think people are going to be really happy to hear from you and
hopefully, man.
Get some real insight to not just you, not just Empire, but like
you as a person.
So
yeah, for sure. Appreciate you guys.
Out. And we all stepped out of our comfort zone with this one, recording it. Having a camera.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna post this up on the Instagram for the account. You know what I mean? So y'all gonna be there live this time.
Hopefully we're gonna keep this going live now. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to make us all look good. You know what I mean? I'll do my best.
You don't need to Photoshop my fatness out of here and
me drop a couple pens, cut off a couple pens.
For sure.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap it up.
Thank you guys, man.
Peace.